Hi, good afternoon. Today is June the 7th and it's about 3 p.m. Central Time. My name is Rinaldo Aguiar and this is a video part of the video series titled Rapid Fire Tips for Law Enforcement. I'm making this quick video just to put a tip out there in case anybody is following what's happening. So I went to the other house today. So that is 2302 Britton Ridge Drive, Katy, Texas 77494. And I went there to do a few things and to process some things that I needed to process. But during my visit, I checked the mailbox, which I rarely check because by design, when I purchased that house, I made the point to not route any mail to that house. Okay. This was to avoid situations like UPS or USPS coming into the porch and like intercepting my cell phone, things like that. So to keep all those delivery, because that's a big interception mechanism that they have. All the delivery and logistics companies like Amazon delivery, UPS, USPS, FedEx, they use all of them to do that, right? And I'm not just guessing here. Like I have video recordings of that correlate exactly with the logs of my network at home, turning on the gateway, and then immediately the delivery driver comes in. Like, and this, I have thousands of recordings, like literally thousands, right? Interestingly, there are no instances in which the driver comes by if the network didn't just become active. Like that's the most interesting thing. Like they only deliver things to me or to my neighbors only if my network becomes active, like within 30 seconds before they deliver something, right? So I think that's the most telling. It's not so much that they deliver when the network is active. I think what is more telling is that they don't deliver if the network doesn't become active, right? Anyhow, I have thousands of occurrences of these, thousands of them recorded with the logs of the network activity showing the exact. At this point, it's not even correlation; it's causality, right? Anyhow, one of the most interesting delivery people in the world is the mailman of Lake Point Estates, right? That gated community, which makes sense, right? If you're running a surveillance operation that is illegal, like they're doing, and you have all these prominent agents, like the ex-CIA director Robert Mueller, and the Sachs, the owners of Liberty Homes builders, and Eckhart, and Phil Denning, and what's the other one? The one that has a barrier, right? Like the one that has a name that sounds like a wall. So anyhow, if you have all these prominent agents living in this gated community, super protected, surrounded by churches, right? So nobody can eavesdrop on their communications. You're not going to make the mistake of letting any mailman come into that community, right? It has to be a mailman that is part of the network. Anyhow, and this is documented before in the journal, that there was an incident like a week or 2 weeks after I moved into Lake Point Estates, in which the mailman was intercepting me at the corners, right? Like, and I already had the technology to build the map manually, even if I didn't have the geo-index captured yet. I had the technology with my spectrometers and my technology, my GPSs. The system could detect when they were intercepting me and interrogating the box in my car, and that way I was kind of manually, day by day, building the map of the interception points. Anyhow, after a few days being there, I figured that the mailman was intercepting me every time he saw me, right, and like interrogating box. So one day, right, I stopped the car and I approached him and I asked him if he point blank, right, and this is documented in the journal. This was documented like a year ago. I asked him point blank if he had interception equipment in the car, in the USPS official vehicle, right? And his reaction was funny, because instead of getting upset, I mean, I think any normal person, right, being asked that question on the street by a stranger would either be offended or confused, right? Like, I mean, if somebody ask me in the streets if I have interception equipment in my car, I would say, you get away from me, right? But this guy, he didn't, right? Instead, he opened all the doors and compartments of the USPS vehicle, and he proceeded to give me a demo, like a walk-around tour of the car, and he turned on the lights and the blinkers and everything, and to show me that it was a safe vehicle, that it wasn't anything malicious, right? So for me, that was very telling, right? Like his reaction was abnormal, right? So anyhow, just an anecdotal observation. And if anybody from law enforcement is watching this or watches this in the future, I think that one of the weakest points I see in all this mail setup, especially USPS, is that the vehicles don't have plates. They don't have license plates. They only have a number like painted on top of the vehicle, right? Some of them, the number is like a sticker on the window. It's not even painted in the body of the vehicle. And it's a number. Anybody could make up a number. Anybody could. It's too easy to tamper with, and there is no way to tie. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that these people that work as USPS delivery people, they have a tremendous level of access to our lives, right? All of us as citizens, right? But we don't have any way to identify them. There's no way to identify them, right? They don't. The vehicle doesn't have license plates. The number can be tampered with. They don't wear name tags. They don't wear badges. Like it's. I don't know. It feels like we're asking for it, right? Anyhow, I'm mentioning all this because when I went today to the other house and I checked on the mail, I found this little number. So basically, it's a green card that says do not deliver RTS full box, right? Like, I guess what and it says new resident. In fact, it says PSIN column N as in Nicole, O as in Oscar, T as in Tango 99000012, and then it says PSN 7690-13-000-5607. I guess with that one can identify the form. So anyhow, I found this little number in the mailbox, and the mailbox was empty, right? So what I'm guessing happened, I wasn't there, but what this tells me is that what they did is that they put this in the mailbox, like saying your mailbox is full, and then they took all the mail, which doesn't make sense to me, because if the mail was already delivered, even if the box was full, they had no right to take it. It was mail that was previously delivered, right? So I don't know. I'll check the guidelines. I imagine the USPS guidelines are published somewhere, right, to see if this is a standard operating procedure or if it's one of their attacks, right? I'm guessing it could be an attack because I can see two things that can come out of this, right? One, I imagine they had sent me letters from those lawyers that Phil Denning is using to try to silence me, and the HOA, they have the legal harassment campaign that they have set up for a year. And I say a year because it's funny, but as soon as I moved into the community, the first thing that Phil Denning did was to send me a letter, or to send everybody a letter saying that the penalties for breaking the bylaws or for infringing the bylaws were being increased from $50 to $500, something like that, like a tenfold increase, right? I guess like that was like the seed, like they had already a plan, right, to harass me with the fines, quote unquote. And so if the fine was $50, I could pay the fine forever, right? But if it's $500, they probably did the math and set it up to a number that would that could actually hurt me, right? So that would be like $500 per day, I guess is their plan, right? Like, and then or $350 per day, something crazy like that. It's the highest HOA infringement fee that I've seen in my entire life, and I've owned multiple properties in different countries, and this is like the highest fee that I've seen anywhere in my life. Anyhow, my guess is that they had sent me some of those letters and lawsuits and complaints and whatever, right? To harass me with legal action, and because now they see legal risk and they're kind of catching up to what's going to happen to them, they stole all the evidence, right, to destroy it, which is a crime, right? So I mean, I'm guessing here, but it's very possible that this is what this is, right? Like a justification to take the mail out of the mailbox, which I think is a stealing mail because that mail was already delivered. It was mine, even if the box was full. that was my mail, right? And there's nothing to win by emptying it. Like, if they're not going to deliver anything, they could just have put this in there and leave the mail in where it was, right? So why take the mail? And I think the second part of this, the second effect of this, is because I filed that complaint with the federal court, the Southern District Court of Texas, on May 19th, and the link is on the website on spyhealth.org. It's a class action lawsuit against Elon Musk and Travis Kalanick and a few other people. I guess the play is that when the court sends me correspondence, because they have marked my address as undeliverable, right? Now I'm not going to get any correspondence from the court, and then I'm not going to be able to respond, right? So I thought of making this video to give the heads up to the FBI or to any agencies that may or may not be watching what's happening. But if anybody's watching, I would suggest watching two things, right? Like the mailman that delivers mail to Lake Point Estates. Like, getting the mailman could lead to get 60 agents, right? Because he delivers messages, like secret messages, encoded messages, via his actions and other things, to all these 60 agents in the community, right? So flipping the agent, flipping the mailman could be a civilization changing move. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that. Yeah, it could be civilizational, really. That mailman, right? And the second thing is watching the court, right? Watching the Southern District of Texas court, especially the clerk. And I'm going to make a video about why I say the clerk. I've had previous experiences with other clerks, and I've learned a lot about how they do it at that level, right? But watching the court to see if they issue any communications to me and if they get delivered or not. Where is the blockage that they put on those communications, right? I think that's a tremendous learning opportunity. And I think after that, extrapolating it, right? Like seeing in which other areas, like the same thing that kind of the same process, right? That occurred when we saw the Texas Department of Agriculture trucks, right? So we realized, well, maybe this is where the virus is coming from, but we didn't stop there, right? We went further and said, well, if they're doing it here, maybe they're doing it in other places as well, right? And that's the moment where things happen, right? So maybe, right? Maybe it's another standard operational procedure, right? Like both stopping the mail, like this, and blocking the communications from the court, right, to the person complaining, to see how they do it, right? Okay, so I'll stop this quick video here. I wanted to make it, I got this maybe 2 hours ago. So like at 12 p.m. No, 11:20 a.m. was the time when I got this on June 7th, 2025. And right now it's 3 p.m. So the delay of 4 hours, and I should have done it sooner, but I was preoccupied with other things. But I wanted to do it, as soon as I could, because it could be, time sensitive. So of course, I'm going to do a bunch of things on my side to, follow this lead as well. And if I find anything, I will for sure make another video about this. Well, thank you so much, and talk to you soon.